Hey everybody, I'm Brian.
Hello everybody, this is Joe G.
Hey, I'm Shannon.
Hi, I'm Ron.
Hey, this is Steve.
Oh, and we can't forget about Marcel.
Oh, hey.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Back on Track with your trackside team. On today's show, we've got Brian from D&RGW Iron Horse Route, we've got Steve Arnold, and we've got Simon Saucy as well. Now, in today's live chat, we're going to be talking about, or basically touching up on scratch building, as well as some kit bashing as well, and, some of the ideas, what you guys have come across, what you guys have done, like, I know a lot of people do it because they're on a budget. I know a lot of people do it because they can't buy the things availably commercially, or they just want something a little bit different, they want to make their railroad a bit unique. Did any of you other guys have anything to say?
Well, I want to say good morning to everybody. And obviously people can see that the background is a little different. This is out in my shop instead of in my house this morning. And Shannon and I have been out here for the last, probably 2 hours trying to get the Colonel Murphys worked out, because a long story how to get out here, but so I'm a little different location. And how are you doing, Simon? You were gone last week. You were making snow, I understand.
No, I was at a retreat last week.
You're making snow.
I am making snow right now, but yeah.
You are making snow.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Haven't worked on the railroad in a while. Been too busy. But what do you guys like to do for scratch building? Like, do you do it because you can't find a model? Do you do it because you enjoy it? I know I do it because it's fun, actually. Or scratch building and kit bashing kind of go together. I do a lot more scratch building than I do kit bashing. But like, what do you mainly use kit bashing for? Leave your thoughts over there, I think, in the chat. Yeah, tell us what you think and say hello over there.
Actually, how about we say good morning to chat?
Well, good morning,
what do you
chat.
think about that?
Yeah.
How are you doing this morning?
Okay,
I see Norman.
You guys sort that out for 2 seconds. I'm just trying to edit something right here on the fly as we're chit-chatting. There we go.
Well, we've got John, School, Kill Valley Railroad, and we've got Chuck, CDP 1965, Gary Corbin, Wilmer. Hello, Wilmer. Good morning.
I'll say we got Norman there. I see Claude's on here as well.
Ken Amos.
Yeah, there was a couple of other guys on there.
Joel Karma.
Yeah,
Good
Joel
morning.
Karma.
Howard the Birds. Yeah, we got Leslie Gilpin, Mark Giuliano. Good morning, Mark. Thank you for coming back.
Yep, CDP 1965's on there as well. Good morning.
Yep, Barnfield Trains. Yeah.
New Ferris Railroad.
That's Bill. Bill is here. Welcome, Bill. Good to see you.
Yep.
Hello,
Bill.
Now,
did I miss anybody?
Dave,
Robert Butler.
Don't think so. Now, in saying that, I know a lot of people are gonna be saying a few things because I'm looking down. I'm looking at chat on live as we talk. So if I'm looking down and I look like I'm zoning out, no, I am not asleep. I am not asleep like everyone thinks I am.
He could be though. He could be.
Yeah.
Good morning, Dave. VNSFN Scales in the house. Good morning, Dave. VNSFN Scales.
Dave, thank you. We finally got a hold of you. I've been working for trying to get a hold of. Oh man, I swear. Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, Melvin. Joey. Good morning, Joey. Dwight.
Good morning, everyone. It's at
barn full of trains. Who's just rocked up? I see.
That's Gary. Good to see you, Gary.
Before we get started, let's remind everyone, if we get 50 people in chat, we're going to do a giveaway. We still have a few weeks left for that. HO scale and in scale giveaway. and I've taken it upon myself to one up the in-scale people and give one more boxcar. But we got to get 50 people in chat, and I'll also go post the links for the traveling boxcar and to be on the show if you want to do either of those. We have enough for the traveling boxcar, but we're always liking more. We get about 30 to 40 viewers a week, and we only have about 15 entries. So there are definitely some people that aren't commenting in chat. I see you people, and who aren't signing up, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want to sign up, you can sign up. I'll post the links a little later on.
Yep. Good morning, Leslie. He's just rocked up, I see as well. All right. Anyway, now
We need to welcome Sparky too, everybody. Sparky
Yeah.
feeds
Hey, where
us
is
y'all
Sparky?
good
I haven't
questions.
seen.
Sparky's there. He's helping. He's just behind the scenes, and sometimes I feel like we leave him out because he is a vital, important part of
Yeah.
us. Sparky is
I
running
don't think
things
a
in
lot
the
of
background and in chat. He's the model railroad enforcer across the community. So,
I don't think a lot of people know that Sparky's part of this.
oh well, we couldn't run it without him. I
Yeah.
got great things to talk about right now just because he shoots them to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
That's
he
funny because
shot last.
Yeah. Sorry about
Yeah.
Yeah, last week Sunday, Sparky came up with that one.
that.
That was the idea.
Yeah, Spark, there's a lot of people who do a lot of stuff in the background. So there's a lot of people you don't never see on the show, and you probably never will. But without them, we would not be able to put on what we can put on today.
Right. I mean, we got Joe G. He wants to be here as much as he can, but the poor guy's a first responder. You know, he works all the time. But he wanted to be here too. We got Ron Piskel on here. A lot of people don't know that.
That's right. And so again, if you're coming in late, we're going to talk about kit bashing versus scratch building, what we prefer, why we prefer it. And if you are in chat and have the ability to come on the stream, if you'll get ready in about 10 minutes or so, I'm going to dip out and one of you guys can jump in if you have some comments, some questions, some things you'd like to share with everyone about your scratch building or your kit bashing or things like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so as Brian was saying, we're talking about kit bashing, scratch building, and whatnot. And there's a number of reasons why people do it. So I guess I'll start off because I've done a little bit of everything. I've dabbled a little bit here and there. So with scratch building stuff from scratch, main reason I did it was because I was on a budget. Like I couldn't afford to get building kits. I couldn't afford to buy the locomotives I wanted to get. I couldn't afford getting box cars that I wanted specific styles of box cars and whatnot. So I had to do a little bit of repainting and whatnot. But that's a whole different subject altogether. Now, I've got a few examples here in front of me of some of the things I've done in regards to scratch building. So, simple things like this, this is a workshop I built, from scratch. As you can see, it's balsa wood. It's got, printed brick paper glued onto it, fly screen windows. Those windows are made of matchsticks and whatnot. I went down as far as using, dowels and bits and pieces to make the vents for the roofs and whatnot. And as you can see, it didn't turn out too shabby. Turned out pretty good.
No, it looks good.
A little bit flimsy. But it's what you expect for something that's about 5-6 years old. But then even things like this, that's an oil storage container. It's just made out of an old oil tanker car that I had that didn't really fit in with the rest of the stuff I had. So I took the wheels off, made this cradle again out of balsa wood, some brass piping that you can get at your local hobby shop, and same there. Got a bit of a ladder to have some access to it. And those are the couple of little things I've done in regards to scratch building. Buildings from scratch. What about you, Brian?
That's a great idea with the. That's a really good idea, Shannon. I never really thought about that. I've got some old ones too. Good idea. My scratch building is goes way back. I mean, I scratch built some HO stuff 30 some odd years ago because I always did Athearn, and this was in the late 70s, and there were some locomotives I wanted at the time that Santa Fe had and Athearn didn't make, and one was an SD40-2 and then an SD45-2. I kit bashed 2 CF7s, which are actually there. I could probably dig them and show you guys. But at the time that wasn't available, and up until this thing that I built, this wood pier, that's I haven't scratch built anything, so my scratch building knowledge is pretty limited.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Steve, but I'm just looking through some of the things Sparky's been sending us. Indian Head Valley Railroad said found a new love scratch building. Try it and you will like it. Barn full of trains. Building my hometown and can't find models, so scratch building is my only option. Gary Corbin, I do it because the basic kit isn't just what I'm looking for. It needs a little more, or sometimes a whole lot more. Joel Karma's chiming in as well. I love scratch building, the fun of making something. I experimented with watercolor pencils and with brushes to add weathered paints to my engine house. What else do we have here?
Well, we got Dale Bass putting, I love kit bashing and scratch building is fun, cheap, and one of a kind. I never throw anything away left. Everything can be made into something else.
Yep, I agree with Dale there. Now, excuse me if I butchered the name, but I think it's Schuylkill River Valley, unless that's a typo.
That's John.
John.
Schuylkill River Valley. John.
Okay. I'd rather scratch build than build a kit. Ask him why, or ask the chat why. Oh, here we go. Hang on a second. I think this might be a question towards us. I'd rather scratch build than build a kit. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay, so he's saying he'd rather scratch build than build a kit. And yeah, and basically, what other reasons do you guys, like kit bashing and scratch building? Like there's a couple of people in there that have actually, got some really good answers there. Is there anything else in chat?
Well, I like the idea of everything's one of a kind. If you build something that nobody else has it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like I know with the buildings I've got that there was a website I used to use, which at the moment it is still there, but I haven't been able to get it to work for the last 12 months. So I haven't been able to print anything. And basically it's just a website where you want a certain style of brick design. You put in the parameters. You want red brick, black brick, yellow brick. Whether it be English, US, Australian. The different brick styles and whatnot. What size brick, if you want it in N scale, HO scale, T scale, O scale, and you just do the parameters, and you could print it off. So that's where I found a good advantage. When I was making my buildings out of balsa wood, so saved me from trying to find textures, trying to find cards where it was actually brickwork. There might be other websites like that out there, or there might be some people out there that actually do design it from scratch, and they offer it to the rest of the community, whether they sell it on eBay or they're just helping another modeler out, kind of thing.
Yep.
Well, I think also kit bashing might fill an area. I mean, if somebody has something they particularly need that has to fill, I mean, you're going to have to build it yourself. Something unique in a certain situation you're not able to buy. So that might be another scratch building project.
Well, and Shannon, you use a lot of balsas. Vinny B and SF6951 has a lot of playlists on scratch building, and he does most of his stuff with styrene.
Same. That's what I do mine with.
and he just got done building a sign, like a tall tower sign and stuff. Billboard, excuse me, is the word I'm looking for, and it looks fantastic as well. My only experience scratch building was because of money, and I did this, and it's all torn up because a new spur I put in hit the overhang. But that cost about $3. You might can tell because of the way it looks. But what I found though is that scratch building is one of the more relaxing things I've done in this hobby. You can sit in a nice, comfortable chair. I did mine modular off the layout. You can sit in a nice, comfortable chair, in a nice, comfortable seat, and just sit there and tinker with it. Particularly after I've been doing a lot of track work or something like that, it's a great thing to go to and switch to for a change of pace as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm just going through chat, so yeah.
Yeah, and especially because like most of the time you can't find a building that exactly fits your needs to the T, and if you scratch build it, you can design it from the ground up, and it's going to work almost perfectly for you.
Actually,
Well, kind of this, like Claude's doing with his trestle. I mean, you're not going to buy a trestle that's going to fit.
Yep, I was just about to say that. Because he's just mentioned his trestles just then.
Hey, Claude, I've got something for you.
Yeah, actually, that's another thing. Like as sorry, not Brian. Steve's just pointed out. Sometimes you can't. You want to build something. That you can't buy. And Steve, if you want to show that thing, you want to show Claude. This is one perfect example. From what
this is probably one of a kind, Claude. Now, Shannon and I were talking about stuff and going through what I've got out here in my mess, and I found this at an antique store about 5 years ago for $5. It's a turntable. It's standard gauge. Somebody did a lot of work on this thing. It's got all the work, and the rails are all pinned. They're not narrow gauge, but with your skill level, I bet you could probably repurpose this. It's beautiful work.
Oh my, yeah, that's beautiful.
I don't have any use for this, and I thought about that. It's like, Claude, you know what? You could use that. So let's get a hold of you and make use of that thing, because somebody did a lot of work on that. How it ended up in an old antique store, I have no clue.
Good morning, Shane's Trains. So I see he's just rocking up now. Heavy J's in. Okay.
Sparky just sent us a question from Doug Dilly. He said, any suggestions for getting started in scratch building? It looks like the initial cost for all the styrene shapes is steep.
Really? Because
one of the things I would suggest if you're just getting started is to use, and you want to use styrene, is to use the signs from like Walmart or Home Depot that are really cheap styrene, and start practicing with those. According to Vinny, they are a little too flexible to use for permanent structures, but he builds mock-ups and stuff with those, and that's a good start. I actually used like Christmas boxes, the real hard cardboard as well, and then I cut skewers that were the size of logs and glued those around the outside. And so that's how I got started. Now, that's not an ideal way to do it, but in regard to efficiency, I was scratch building for less than $5.
Yeah, I mean, like when I started, I'd buy a sheet of styrene that was like 1 foot by 6 inches, and it was like $7, and I could build a small family home. I could build like 2 or 3 family homes out of that. Maybe it's different now, or maybe I got it fairly cheap. I actually found it. Compared to like other things, like it was a lot cheaper to scratch build than it was to buy the building, and I got to make it how I liked. And what's the kind of styrene? Is it the green works, green something?
Oh, I know the stuff you're talking about. It's still polystyrene, but it's the brand you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
the stuff I
It's
like
like
to use.
Greenways or something. I can't. I know what you're talking about. I've got some
I
in my
have some
room.
upstairs. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have it
yeah. We've got
upstairs.
some in our kit somewhere, but we don't have it in front of us.
Yeah, I can't. I
That's
can't go out and get anything right now because well, there are no hobby shops around me anymore. Closest one's 45 minutes.
45. Try now.
that's mine.
Well, it's probably close to an hour. It's down by the airport.
Yeah, yeah. You
Hey,
can't
just
find.
a reminder,
Mine's about,
everybody.
mine's about
Quick, quick reminder. It's 9:22 at night. Excuse me, 10. I'm going to be jumping out at the half hour. So if anybody wants to come in and talk about scratch building, kit bashing, anything like that, I'm going to jump out so we make room for somebody to come in. So if any of the guests want to come on the show, about 7 minutes, I'm going to dip out. Y'all get ready.
Yep, I'll post the link down in chat, and then it'll direct you to a waiting room, and we'll let one of you in. We'll do that in about 10 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
And in saying that, we've got a
Yeah.
couple of people correcting us. It's called Evergreen. Simon.
Evergreen, that's what it is. Evergreen, yes. Yep,
That's what we're talking about.
my favorite stuff of all time. So nice.
Here you go. Joel's just put in a good suggestion. Cereal boxes are free and are great for building for builds and test builds.
Yep.
You know, and I agree
Well,
with that.
how about what Roy Hardwick is saying? Container Man 68, Roy Hardwick. He's kit bashed an existing Hot Wheels truck into a working HO model. He says he's got 8 or 10 of them, and he's using them in his truck fleet. So you can
cool.
repurpose it.
Yeah.
Hello, Roy. How are you doing, man?
Yep.
Well, I was lucky because I got what are they called? They're like the kits that the 4 walls you put together are like the plastic, and you can paint them. I forget who makes them, but they make like buildings and townhouses. So when my hobby shop closed down, they gave me a full reign of under their layout. So I got a bunch of boxes of that stuff, just kits and stuff. So I'll be going for years.
I'm just trying to think now. I've just had.
Hey, Shannon, I forgot to talk about. Do we have an intermission video this morning?
No, at the moment, intermission videos are at a bit of a standstill because we're a bit, we're stretched thin at the moment. Between myself, yourself, Simon, and Brian. I guess it's because everyone's going back to work, everyone's getting back into their routines and whatnot.
Is it croaky? Is it croaky or cracky? We're all croaky, right?
Croaky? No, you mean crook?
Croaky.
Clarky.
Croaky.
I have no idea what you guys are going on about.
Never mind.
You were sick last week, and you said
I
I'm
was
a
sick.
bit croaky.
Yeah,
Croaky.
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 Croaky like a frog croaks.
Croaky.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
I feel like my Aussie accent is getting butchered right now.
We're sorry, Shannon.
Oh, Jesus. Hang on.
Well, Shannon, I talk kind of different too.
Yeah, but no one makes fun of you, Brian.
Yeah, my southern accent.
Yeah. Everyone understands your southern accent. Everyone's still trying to understand my accent because I'm from halfway across the globe.
Leslie says Evergreen are expensive over here, but local manufacturers do various thicknesses of sheets. So yeah, it can be different for like different parts of the world and different parts of the country. I know over where I live, it's very affordable, but obviously where she lives, it's more expensive, and you just gotta find what works for you.
Well, in the question about all the different shapes and stuff, they do have the different size cylinders and all that kind of stuff in the styrene. So if somebody was looking out, go ahead.
Roy H says you can use a Pringle container for a silo. So
Yeah.
And I think Miller uses styrofoam for portholes, and so yeah, there's all kind of stuff you can use. I'm actually thinking about using the spool from like the yarn that when you sew the thread that's around it. I'm thinking about using a spool as the base for my water wheel, like cutting a spool because that'd be about
That's
the
good.
size of an N-scale water wheel, and it would have a good
Well, I'll
shape
tell you
too.
what, don't put Homoso with white foam. They don't like. I've got my barge done.
Or clear cast
and-
resin. Clear cast resin eats foam too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
CA eats foam.
Now
Look at that, man. Look at the bow on that thing.
Now,
I
in
mean,
saying
it's
that,
like-
I'm just going through chat. For some reason, Norman wants me to say Salika. Tar Heel Roads wants me to say crikey. Joelle says she loves my accent. What else? I think that is everything in regards to picking on me for the minute.
We can't do any more picking?
Oh, we can always pick on you.
Oh, I know. Okay. Now I just see Simon's just posted the link for the chat for any of you guys who wants to join in and have a chat with us and talk a little bit about scratch building and kit bashing, so to speak. As I said, I've still got a few examples in front of me which we'll touch on today, but we're gonna try and maybe get more detail in next week with possibility of a guest. But we'll get onto that a bit more later on.
Yeah, next week we do expect to have a live guest in, so we probably won't have anybody from chat jumping in. So, and one of the things that goes on is when whereby goes from 4 cameras to 3, Shannon has some work he's got to do. So we kind of wanted to let you guys know and get ready if you wanted to jump in, so he doesn't have to change the screen and everything.
Yeah.
So I am going to step out and say goodbye, but I should be back at the end to read the live streams and the announcements unless Shannon decides to do that himself. And if so, y'all have a good weekend. Otherwise, I'll see y'all in just a minute.
All right,
Okay, Rob. Take care, Brian.
Okay.
See you, Brian.
Now, now the screen goes funny. So let's see if I click on that. Okay, that's good for the couple of minutes. Now, whilst we're waiting for anyone who does want to jump in, Simon, I'm guessing you've got visual on the live chat, so you can talk to people. Where are we up to? Now we're up to 39 people. We're up to 39
in chat.
Yeah, 39 chat. So 10 more people, 10 more, and we'll start giving away stuff. Like I got this to give away. It's DCC fitted, N scale, undecorated, so you can decorate it into any railroad you want to. I don't know exactly what Simon's going to be giving, but all I know it's some sort of rolling stock in HO scale.
I've got something.
Actually, if you want, Steve, you can give away those brass models to me. I'll take them.
Oh no,
Shannon, people on the show cannot win anything.
No. No, that was to show you. You can
Yeah, but I want them.
You can't have them.
What do you want to trade? No.
Oh, what do I want to trade?
You got any HO scales?
Oh no, I just said that.
Whoa.
You got any HO scale stuff?
Not going here.
Excuse me. Okay. Everything okay over there? I'm gonna take that.
41
yes.
people.
Yeah.
Well,
did you say
Leslie
41?
says we got 41.
Oh yeah, it's
come
going
on,
up.
we got 9 more. I told Shannon we were going to hit 50 last week, but we better hit 50 this week.
Yeah, you gonna make Steve a liar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Chuck, CDP 1965 says 42.
I see 39. Shannon, you should have an accurate number.
Here you go.
Who's got it? Wilmer says 42.
Oh, it's just dropped down to 37. What's going on?
35. Hey, who left? How dare you? 34. What are we doing, Shannon?
I don't know.
Who's checking now?
Anyway, I was gonna say something and I've forgotten.
Just Shannon.
Yep. Now I know I was
It's
speaking
the
to a couple.
headband.
Yeah. Now I know I was speaking to a couple of people last week. They wanted to jump on and say hello. In chat. Oh, numbers are going up and down. Okay. Anyway, so back to kit bashing and scratch building. Like I said, like you can pretty much use anything around the house. So tin cans. Good
Yep.
material there. Foam blocks. You got foam. What else do we have? I've got a table full of crap, and you think I'd be you can't go wrong without some of this cyanoacrylate glue. Okay, which is a kind of
and accelerator. You have to have accelerator.
Yeah, if you need accelerator, use accelerator. But if you're like me, I'd prefer not to use accelerator because I tend to be quite happy with the speed it dries up. Now in saying that, like I said, we're talking about kit bashing and scratch building and whatnot. Now just to show you guys what we get into or how far you can get into with all this kind of scratch building and kit bashing. I've got a couple of my fleets in here that I'm doing some work on. So one example I'm doing is, there you go, there's a Buckman Spectrum Heavy Mountain. It's a 482. That was the original tender that went with it, but I'm modifying it to become a Southern Pacific MC-4. I'm going to be fitting that tender to it. Going to do some modification to the boiler, which I haven't started yet. It's only a project that maybe started in the last couple of days.
Wait, we have someone.
Oh, do we?
Oh.
Do we? Oh, I'm changing screen.
You ready?
Yeah, I've changed screen.
Ready.
Come let him in.
Welcome.
Leslie.
Leslie, how are ya?
Hi,
Like I said,
Hello, Leslie.
building whatnot.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we
can.
can.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah.
I can hear a bit of an echo though, so if you have your browser open, like the YouTube channel, just mute it for the minute. I've got a couple of my fleets in here that I'm doing some work on. I can still hear the echo. One example I'm doing is Heavy Mountain. It's a 482.
Now, Shannon,
That was the original tender that went with it, but I'm modifying it to become MC-4. I can hear myself echo, and it's messing with my boiler, which I haven't. Come on, I've been up for about 16 hours right now. In the last couple of days.
Wait, we have someone.
Oh, do we? Do we? Oh, I'm changing screen.
You ready?
Yeah, I've changed screen.
ready.
Oh, hang on, I've got to take a few seconds. Leslie, how are ya?
Right, at last.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
can.
Fine.
So you're still echoing. You should be able to.
Though, so
Yeah. Just in the YouTube chat, under where it has the play button, you can mute it right there.
I've got a couple of my fleets in here that I've just wait for doing some work on. Come on, Leslie, just mute the stream. One example I'm doing is this echo.
I don't know how.
Oh no, where's Leslie gone?
Oh no. Hey Simon, while I've got you before Leslie gets back, if we get him back, if somebody else wants to jump in too, I can jump out, so that's not a problem.
Yep. Anyway, as I was saying, so that's one model I'm currently working on. this is another model I'm in the middle of working on. As you can see, I love my Kato branded products. In America, they call it Kato.
Kato.
Yeah, I'm with you, Simon. Kato, but some people say Kato. Anyway,
Well, I think Roy Smith in Panama ended that. I think it's Cato because I think he mentioned.
Anyway, so this is another thing I've
Cato
started.
calls it Cato.
Yeah. Anyway, this is another thing I've been working on. It's a Mikado, which has been converted to an MT-4.
Cato.
Okay, we're not going to get into that argument right now. Okay, we'll
Shannon.
pass that. We'll pass that.
Shannon.
Yes.
We have a guest.
Okay, we'll chuck him on, and then I'll change scene.
He's chucked on. It's Wilmer.
Wilmer.
Shannon. Shannon.
Yes. Oh, I'm hearing echo again. Jesus.
It's all fixed now.
Okay.
How are
you
you?
go.
Hey, how's everybody going this morning?
Yeah, not
Doing
too bad.
good.
Morning, Wilmer.
Sparky forced me to. Figured I'd see if it work off my phone, and it does.
Well, there you go. So, how you enjoying the show so far, Wilmer?
What's that?
How you enjoying the show so far? Got anything to add for us?
Just that scratch building is fun. I never dreamed it'd be that much fun. I did that for my giveaway that I was doing, and I've been working on it. And I'll tell you what, I never dreamed it'd be that much fun scratch building something.
Wow.
I've done portholes made out of styrofoam that you just carve the block in, and then with a little bit of ingenuity with the paint, it looks great. So it doesn't take much to scratch build something. As far as expense goes, it can be as expensive or it can be cheap. It's just a little bit of ingenuity. This is a good subject for me because I like this subject.
What's your favorite?
Wilmer, what's your favorite thing to scratch build? I mean, if you're gonna pick, what's your favorite thing to do? Do you have one?
Well, I haven't done much yet, and that's the thing. I just started scratch building, and right now I'm doing. If you guys been watching I've been doing a building on a diorama that I'm doing.
Yep.
Yeah, Wilmer's fertilizer and freight.
And the name works well.
Fertilizer coming out of the Indian Head Valley, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I when you're going at it, you find out what works and what don't work. I mean, in mine, I got about halfway through the build, and what I was using for materials was I was using that foam board. And it didn't work. It warped when you painted it and stuff. So I had to start all over. Went to styrene, and everything worked. So that's the beauty of scratch building. You learn as you go.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to rebuild it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I rebuilt
And then
it.
you accidentally step on it.
Yeah. I've been at it 3 months now. 3 months. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
So,
It's going to be a masterpiece.
well, I wanted something nice to give away to my subscribers, just because they're what makes doing this on YouTube so much fun. So, and I want something nice. When I want something that someone wants to either put it on their layout or put it on a wall, on a shelf and display it. And I want something that's going to be nice. And I've been taking my time and working at it right.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
It's a good way to do it.
wake up.
Awesome.
Would you say your favorite material is probably styrene?
I like wood too, but styrene, I just started learning on the styrene. and it's a lot easier to work with than I thought it would be. So I'd say styrene, but I've used a lot. I've used a lot of. I went to Walmart and got these. They called sticks, just sticks. That's all they are.
Yep.
Bag full of sticks and popsicle sticks and stuff like that. And I use that kind of stuff. I use whatever works. Old pieces of sprues from the old models and stuff like that. Anything that'll work.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff out in I guess it's the world that we can.
Right.
It's like almost the perfect size for a model railroad, which is convenient.
Yep. I'm losing Simon.
Yeah, Simon's kind of cutting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a bit of couple hardware issues at the minute, but
right.
It's all good. I'm not going to touch it. I think Colonel Murphy's trying to butt in right now next to me.
Oh,
no, my internet was like.
Now, I have some questions, okay? These are for Simon. I want to know, Simon, do you drink any coffee before you come on?
Oh, okay, I've just had some technical issues happen.
There must be a big delay between us.
Come on.
Yeah.
Simon!
Yeah. About 30 seconds, I think.
30 seconds? That big of a difference?
Crystal, can you turn that off?
She yelled no?
I mean,
my wife would told me no.
It's messing up with the stream right now. Sorry. Oh no. Here we go. My computer's lost it.
Isn't that awful?
At least, can you put it on like a black screen for me?
But the
Heavy J says it's the day after Valentine's, so it's a bunch of hangovers.
A bunch of hangovers from Valentine's.
Alright, come on.
Family friendly.
Okay, you guys keep chatting. I know everyone's probably looking at a weird screen right now. But
yeah, it's
Colonel
weird.
Murphy, go away.
Hey, mine's working good. How about that?
I mean, he's just.
Norman says we're stuck at 42.
You're stuck at 42. Do I have to get the rubber band up?
I see.
I'm only seeing 7 thumbs up. Are we that bad?
No, you had more than that a little bit ago. You had 13 before I come in.
Well, at least there's no thumbs down yet.
There's always somebody that has to do that. I think it's Sparky.
Don't you dare.
Yep.
Well,
Sparky.
Wilmer, I want to thank you for coming on. I haven't really got a chance to talk with you much, but it's nice to see you jump in here because we have an awesome community, and you're a big part of it.
Yeah, well,
thank you.
I really support this show. I really like what you guys are doing, and I hope you keep on doing and you keep on growing. So
yeah, and we like your YouTube channel and your show. You want to give yourself a shout out while you're here, real quick? I really enjoy watching. It's one of my favorite parts of the week.
Well, you just watch the Indian Head Valley Railroad because it's not bad.
Okay, just letting the guys know on the live stream, I have had something happen with one of my screens, so I'm just trying to reboot that screen at the minute. So there's gonna be, I'm assuming there is audio. I'm not seeing anyone in chat saying that they can't hear us, but hopefully
just like a podcast.
Yeah, but hopefully in about 2 minutes I'll be able to get the screen back up.
So somebody type to him and tell him to drink some coffee. That's what he needs. Coffee.
Brian says whip it.
There you go. Go ahead, Simon. Drink coffee. It'll help his cough too.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
that's me copying there.
well, or you could, turn back Australian time. A few 24 hours,
24 hours.
12 hours.
Oh, don't start.
Well,
Oh,
it's
see,
Sunday
there's a
morning for
problem.
you, Shannon.
He's drinking Coca-Cola. He should be drinking coffee.
Yeah, Shannon. Who drinks Coca-Cola at 2 a.m.?
How about coffee? Drink
Hey.
coffee.
Yeah.
Cold,
I don't have any
cold
coffee.
coffee.
My coffee's all the way back there. Have I fixed it yet, Shannon? We still going?
Yeah, nah, it's all good. As I said, we still got audio, but everyone's just probably looking at a black screen right now. So
Joelle says tea.
We can actually see your face. We actually see you.
oh,
Yep. Needs coffee.
I don't know.
oh my God, you are kidding me.
I'm looking at a black screen.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna keep chugging along.
Yeah.
Oh, any other things you want to talk about while you're here?
No, not right at the moment. But you know what? No, I looked up on my TV because I have this on the TV too. All I see is a black screen.
Yeah, all I see is black screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pepsi. Well, Joelle, you can't be drinking coffee and Pepsi. That is a crime.
Yeah, as I
That will
said,
be punished.
yeah, as I said, I'm waiting for my second screen to start up, and for some reason it's just,
You're fired.
hey, it's not my fault. It's the hardware.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper. Oh, jeez. Is it Diet Dr. Pepper? These people.
Well, I'm going to jump out of here and let somebody else have an opportunity. Maybe Brian wants to come back in. I don't know. But y'all have a good morning, and thanks for having me on.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thank you, Wilma. Thank you for jumping on. And yeah, thanks for everyone so far dealing with Colonel Murphy throwing his fingers into the game again.
Right.
Bye now.
Thank you, Wilmer. See ya.
See you later.
Well, I suppose we can publish this as a coffee and Diet Coke. Whoa. Okay, how does that work, Brian? How is that possible? How do you drink coffee and Diet Coke? Do you mix them together, like coffee Coke?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, is there anything else in regards to kit bashing or whatnot that we want to discuss whilst we have a few minutes left, and whilst we're having these technical difficulties?
Well, let's get Brian back on here.
Yes, Sparky's putting out Scratch Building and Imagination Go Together. It's a test of how good everyone's imagination is.
Yeah, exactly. And like as I said, as I've touched up on it before, like Scratch Building doesn't just involve buildings; it also does involve, locomotives, boxcars, and vehicles. Scenery, certain types of scenes. Like I know, you can't commercially buy a scrapyard. But there's a guy who I buy some products off who does white metal kits. And all the white metal kits that he makes that don't actually turn out as they should, like for some reason one of the castings didn't mold out properly, or one of the castings has a bubble in it or something. He doesn't remelt down the white metal and make it into the mold. He puts it all aside and he makes it into scrap junk. And it's just you can do the same things with offcuts of your kits. You got offcuts of your kits, cut into certain shapes and whatnot, and paint it up, make it look like scrap.
Yeah.
Well,
welcome back, Brian.
I was just thinking about what you were talking. If you've got anything that's on your layout, if you didn't buy it the way you put it on, you scratch build it. In my opinion, I mean your layout's a scratch build or kit bash. Yeah. I mean, if you didn't buy it from the store, put it on your layout, you did something to it yourself, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
in
Well,
my opinion.
Brian, you want to shout out what shows we have and what's going on this week? If you're ready for that.
I do. I came back in, even though we didn't have a camera, to announce the weekly Model Railroad live streams and series, etc. Heard this said before somewhere, but this no camera thing's good. Mom always said I had a face for radio. Weekly Model Railroad live streams Monday at 7 o'clock is Just Nate, according to Sparky, at Tiegatten River Valley and Coal Company. Tom's Trains and Things comes to us at 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Tuesday at 7 o'clock is On Track Tuesday. You got Wilmer at Indian Valley, Benny at Creative Rails, Tony at Redbird Tony, and I don't have the number there at the end of his name. Dave at Crooked River and Eastern. Wednesday is our own Sparky at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thursday is Hot Rod Rodney at 7 o'clock. He was back up and running smooth this past week. The last Thursday of the month is Chris at Go Via or Go Home. Friday at 8 o'clock is Cousin Benny at BNSF 6951. Saturday at 10 a.m. is us right here on the Back on Track channel for Trackside and you. And 7 p.m. is Ron at the Real Wicked Canadian. That's on Saturday evening. Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern is Nora. And I don't have the full name. Nora is the acronym. If somebody could put the whole name in chat if he's not here. That's 6 p.m. on Sunday, which is cool because we have something going on Sundays now too. Mondays you got Not Bad with Wilmer at Indian Head Valley River Valley Railroad. Excuse me, Wilmer, I'm sorry. Tuesdays you got Roy S.'s Dispatch. And then the second Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. you got the Community Roundhouse. And every Saturday after our show, you got BNSF 6951's premieres, and Roy H. Containerman 68 has a live stream coming soon. That's all I got. Back to you guys.
Well, we also have Roy Smith on Saturdays. He'll do a layout update too.
Yep, every Saturday.
And we also have, I don't know if you mentioned it, but we have, and I honestly, I don't know all the times. I know they do it more than once a week, and that's Model Railroading Live. We'll have to get some more information and a link on that one because that's kind of fun too. It's kind of along this line, just the railroading chat.
This is the point in the show where we let you guys shout out your channels and tell us what you're up to and what you're doing for the last few minutes of the show before we dip out and let you guys go get back to modeling your railroad. So go shout out your channels over there, I think. We can't see me anyways. In the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, Simon's exactly right, everybody. Go ahead and promote your channels. And Simon, you going to read them off for everybody?
Yeah, and Brian, you can help me.
I can do that. Let me know if you need help. I'll be here.
I can help.
There is no I in the word team.
But there's a me.
Got 25 thumbs up. That's pretty cool.
Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. You know, like we're always having these little things, and have I just got my screen back? We might.
I don't know. Norman says that we've got 42 faithful.
That's 8 more people. 8 more, and we do a giveaway. Remember HO people?
Hey, there's Model Railer. Model Railer always comes in the last 5 minutes.
25
Good
thumbs
to
up.
see you, John, Model Railer. Good to have you here.
Imagine 2 HO scale box cars. Insert here.
So, Duncan's at 115, Chuck's at 165, Dale PRR got Bass 149, Gary 151, John Schuylkill River Valley 325. Go ahead, Simon, if you want to pick up now.
Oh gosh, I gotta find the bottom of the chat.
We got Containerman at 1348.
Wow.
Barnesville Trains 151. John at Schuylkill Valley 325. Let's see. Wilmer's got 586.
Indian Head,
White Creek
Indian Head Valley,
158.
it's 586. What? Dwight at 146. Model Railer still at 500 something. Leslie at 89.
98.
98. Oh, almost to 100. That's a milestone. Cowboy Valley and Timberline at 158. Heavy J at 50. New Ferris Railroad at 192. Ooh, almost 200.
Now, I was just going to say, whilst you're reading out those subscriber counts and whatnot, I'm just going to run an email across the middle of the screen there. So if you have any suggestions, anything you want us to cover, or if you just, you want to have a chat with us or, be one of our guests, there's our email going through the center of the screen right now. It's backontrackmoderators@gmail.com. So yeah, leave us a message, say hello. And if you have it, send us some content. Send us
Did you see
videos,
that,
send us
Simon?
pictures. Name it so we can bring these intermissions back and show everyone what you've been working on and what's going on in the modeling community.
Okay, back to subcounts.
Sparky's-
Go ahead.
Sparky says he just hit 4,003 yesterday.
Yeah.
Yay! Sparky hit 4,000, y'all.
Nice.
That's awesome. And then
Wow.
Canamus, J B&O 51 is 76. Michael McCarville is 1201. Ooh, good, 1,000. Let's see. Kenward Griffin Jr. is 134. Sparky 4,003. That's very good. That's awesome. That's a mile marker. Almost 5,000. You're what?
Michael McCarville's doing a stream too at 9 or 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern, but I'm not sure what night. If you want to tell us that, Michael, we'll announce it.
Yeah, we have like a minute left in the show, so anything you want to last say, I believe we're over there. Say it quickly before we head on out and leave you guys to Model Railroad. It's Fred Wild at 73.
Yep. Now, as I said, next week, like discussing with the guys, there's a fair bit more we can touch on in regards to scratch building and kit bashing. So we'll continue this a little bit more next week.
Yeah, we'll give more on the traveling boxcar too.
Yeah,
we're
trying
to get an
update on that, but hopefully we'll have that update next week. I was going to say as well.
This is Michael McCorvin.
I was going to say next week. I do have a friend of mine who I always go to whenever I need a kit bash any locomotives. When I'm doing stuff like this or stuff like this or like this. Modifying locos, repainting, you name it. So I'm going to try and get him on here next week, and I think he's somewhere in chat, but I haven't seen his name pop up yet. I will be bugging him after we get off the show. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add in there?
Yeah, Michael McCarville's live stream is
put the link
Wednesday
for the
nights
travel
at 9
boxcar.
p.m. Eastern, everybody. So check him out. He does a lot of, he's actually working on some scratch building and kit bashing and projects right now. So he might be good to go check out this coming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Appreciate y'all sticking in with us when we had the camera issues. That was great of y'all for hanging in there. We appreciate it.
Yep, yeah, definitely. And yeah, get your friends in here. From what I could see, we hit 42 people in the live chat. Let's make it to 50.
Let's hit 50 next week.
That's only 8 people. So there he is, Ernie. He is in chat.
So, is that infamous Ernie right there?
Yep, E.T. Julian. That's my friend who I always go to for kit bashing.
Yeah, we're gonna be hearing more from this guy. I think everybody. We're gonna be trying to.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a guy in chat. What's his name again, Shannon?
E.T. Julian. So he's just in there. He's just put in there. I'm here, Shannon.
Ernie.
So he's been hiding in the crevices, but as I said,
well,
he has scratch built so many N scale locos. I always, I am in envy. Everything he has, I'm like, I want it, I want it, I want it, I must have it. Give me, give me, give me.
Okay, well, that's this week's show.
Okay.
You can email us. It's going through the screen right now. There's a traveling boxcar link, and I'll post the to be on the guest link.
Yep, and we'll be
Yeah.
posting it down in the bottom as well, in the description as well.
Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming out and sticking with us through all our problems. One day we'll have it fixed out, and we'll have a perfect show. One day.
And thank y'all for hanging in there with us. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to check out Cousin Vinny, BNSF6951. He's got a premiere coming up in about an hour, I think.
All right,
Yep.
easy
And
done.
same with.
We'll see y'all there.
Okay, guys, take care.
Guys, next week. Bye.
Bye.